Welcome to Do You Believe? It's Thursday. This is the second basketball Illuminati show of the week. I am your host, Hach Zarper, and I am definitely the same person who always hosts this podcast, joined as always by Dakhil and proud American Wosny Lambre, who is doing backflips in the streets because we have an American Pope. We have an American Pope, y'all. Proud American Pope, Wosny Lambre.
Yes, sir.
We just found out that this Pope went to Villanova, and that might explain all of the funky happenings going on in this NBA playoffs. Mo, before we get started, before we get to the Do You Believes, is this the craziest playoffs we've had in a little while here? Is this hyperbole, or is this really this crazy?
I mean, no, I think it's this crazy. Just a number of 20-point comebacks, the number of just weird endings. You know, go back to Indiana beating Milwaukee in game 5, like in that game. I mean, we've just had some really weird results where it's like, God, I thought this game was over or whatnot. It's absolutely absurd. This has been the craziest playoffs I think we've had in a very long time.
I mean, the Knicks alone have played in nothing but insane games since the playoffs started. Like, they have not kicked anybody's butts, and they haven't been blown out. Every game has come down to the wire. Yeah, it's been wild. And, you know, we actually brought this up on group chat, and I was like, you know what? It is the basketball gods getting back people, because everybody was bitching about the Eastern Conference playoffs, particularly last season. And he was like, all right, I got something for that ass. Watch this. And it's just been insane.
On that note, get it started with our first topic. Do you believe the Pacers and Knicks are headed to the Eastern Conference Finals? Guys, it's 1999 and 2000 all over again. We are sitting with the Pacers and Knicks up 2-0. Pacers defeating the Cavs despite missing Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, and DeAndre Hunter. The Cavs controlled most of game 2. Donovan Mitchell had 48 points, leading by 17 points in the third quarter. However, Pacers erased a 7-point lead with under a minute to play. Tyrese Halliburton grabbed his own offensive rebound off a free throw, ran back out to the three-point line, and ripped the guts out of Cleveland with a step-back 3 for the win. Meanwhile, in Boston, the Knicks rallied from down 20 in both games, like Mo said, against the Celtics. Mikal Bridges forced consecutive game-clinching turnovers, and the Celtics are 25 for 100 from 3 in 2 games. 25 for 100. We don't need to work too hard to get the percentage on that. It's 25%. It's 25 out of 100.
Let me double check that real quick.
Yep. Do those numbers for me, Mo. That's right. 25 out of 100. That's 75 missed threes in 2 games. 2 60-plus win teams down 0-2 heading into the road games. Woz, will this hold?
I think the Pacers have a great case. Their opponent missing 2 All-NBA players. Gonna be tough to win any series when you don't have 2 of your All-NBA players. However, I think the Knicks still, have a lot of work to do. It's not just that the Celtics won the championship last year. They've been to the conference finals like 7-8 years in a row, whatever the hell it's been. It's that, like, they have been down, 20 points in the third quarter of both of these games. The Celtics beat them up the entire regular season. The last game was the closest one at the Garden, where Tatum was just heroic. He was just the opposite of the Tatum that we've seen for 2 games. So I think the Knicks have still have a lot of work to do. But I do think the Pacers are ultimately going to be there, and it's sad because the Cavs had such a beautiful season, and to have the injuries derail them at this moment. Mobley will definitely come back. It's an ankle. People come back from ankles, even at limited capacity. He'll be back. I think it kind of did serve him to miss that game, but Garland is out. He's not coming back, bro. He's out. And it's just a lot to overcome.
It's insane in the sense of, I agree with Waz, at least of the two, the Pacers are more likely. Matter of fact, I feel like more people are convinced Boston's still going to win this series and going to win it in 6 than anything else, just because they feel like, hey, look, they built 2 20-point leads. They've choked down the stretch in 2 different games. You know, you're looking at that and you're going like, yeah, they're still the better team, all that stuff. It's when you look at the Pacers Cavs series and it comes down to just the injuries of it, it's, you know, even now the miles you put on Donovan Mitchell in game 2, like, he was falling every possession. It felt like the ice bath that he was in needed an ice bath after he went into it. You know,
it was 30 shots in game 1.
I loved it too. I love the broadcast talking about, he's saying like, yeah, he doesn't feel like he needs to shoot as he continued to shoot in game 2 and do all that stuff. But you just saw like the Strus had a big 3 at like one point in the 4th quarter, and that possession, I think somebody else brought the ball up. When the camera gets to half court, you see Donovan Mitchell bent over like he was working at Popeyes and just exhausted after the lunch rush had come through. And it took everything he had to create that 3 for Strus. When the Cavs, it's, even if Mobley comes back, I feel like they're almost dead in the water right now, because I don't think Mitchell has any juice left. Like, I don't know if he has any legs left. The amount of work that he has to do to keep them close. Ty Jerome has completely disappeared this series, and it's, I feel like they're just in trouble. Like, I don't see a way for the Cavs to come back if they don't get fully healthy real quick. And I mean, I would love to see Knicks Pacers conference finals, but
I think it would be a great, like, an amazing series, you know,
especially coming off last year's.
Yeah,
last year's going to 7. I mean,
insane.
Like, it would be a lot of fun to kind of have that sort of continue with that. But it's, again, it's nobody wants to trust the Knicks. They're going home up 2-0, and I haven't like nobody wants to trust them.
I watched.
They got the Pope. The Pope went to Villanova, and it's not Pope, even
the Pope is a Nova Nick.
It's not even
the thing. You know, somebody emailed us and was like, does the first 2 games of the Knicks series basically improve your opinion of the Detroit Pistons? And I'm like, really? Like, a playoff team with the foundation of Toby Harris, Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dennis Schroeder, all nice players. Like, these are nice players, but come on, man. Like, nobody thinks this is the foundation of some kind of amazing playoff squad. Like, these guys played like 30 minutes plus a game, all of them, for Detroit in that series. I think the Celtics have just, you know what, I think the Celtics just had no respect for the Knicks. Going into those first 2 games. Not to say the Knicks didn't play well, but, you know, like, you look at OKC, which obviously they've had a great season. They won 68 games, but like, they played as if their season were literally going to be over if they didn't win yesterday. They came into that game under the same exact circumstances as the Celtics. The Celtics did not treat that game as if it would be the end of their season if they didn't win.
But that goes to Missoula. That goes to Missoula in the sense of, like, after game 1, we just missed shots. I loved every shot we got. We just missed shots. I loved all the 63s we got. I loved all of them. I loved the 45 misses just as much as I loved the 15 makes. And God damn it, we'll do it again. Like, that's just, it's that. Whereas I feel like Mark Dagnall might have been pressing those buttons of like, yo,
guys,
we gotta be better.
Win.
We're going to go there down 0-2, and they have the greatest player on the planet. Like, we're going to put ourselves in a world of hurt in that instance. I feel like with Missoula, sometimes it's just, it's arrogance to a degree, and it then kind of filters down, although a lot of those guys on the Celtics had that before Mazzulla came in. It's kind of the hubris of just the idea of like, no, we got the shots we wanted. They just didn't go in. So I don't know, maybe try to get different shots.
Mo, has there ever been a more hubristic basketball team? Like ever than this Celtics core?
There's been a lot though. We've had a lot of teams. We've had a lot of teams. I think I would say right now they're the most. And I think it's going to be funny is like, let me ask you this question though, Woz. Say they get knocked out. Say that whatever, even they make it go 7 and they lose.
I can't.
Is this Celtics core going to be more remembered for winning the championship last year or for choking away this one?
Oh, definitely for the choke, because it's not just this. It's
Miami.
The Golden State loss still feels insane to me. Jordan Poole beat your ass. Andrew Wiggins beat your ass.
Like, Andrew Wiggins outplayed Tatum in the NBA Finals.
That still feels insane. Now to do this against the Knicks, and that's another thing. Like, because it is the Knicks, you will never be allowed to forget about this.
Oh God! No. This will be kind of.
You saw the video they made that we're still quoting to this day after they beat them in a regular season game. I gotta pour some water on Woz's skepticism here, because we were here a week ago, and Woz said, "No way, the Knicks are not going to 7 against the Pistons. This is the Knicks. This is what they do."
That's fair.
We had the Jalen Brunson put him on a windshield wiper, clear Alsar Thompson the hell out of here. They
probably should have lost that game too, but I
probably
digress.
should have, but they didn't. They didn't. They probably should have lost the first 2 games of this series, but they didn't. I think something special is happening in New York. I love it. I want to watch it keep rolling. Game 3, the energy in the Garden, in the Mecca. Oh my God. I wish we could bottle that and sell it. Somebody will bottle it and sell it outside for $5 a pop, just garden air. But
another thing that came to my mind too was, I think this is the biggest Knicks win since LJ 4-point play, which was 26 years ago, guys.
Yeah,
I think this is the biggest Knicks win since the win that sent them to the NBA Finals in 1999. That's insane.
I feel like we're setting the Knicks up for the fall, though. I feel like we're coming back.
Woz is very much on the record as saying that he's not setting them up for the fall.
I can't see this actually happening. There's just been times in these first 2 games where I'm just like, the Celtics are way better than you.
But this is what they do. This is what the Celtics do, right? Like, they were way better than the Miami team. Here's the thing that happened in the fourth quarter. They stopped passing. Yeah. The ball doesn't move. It really doesn't. They've become so focused on getting threes. It's literally just one pass. Cool, I'm going to shoot. I got an offensive rebound next to the basket. I'm going to dribble out the 3, turn around, fade away from 3. Like, it's just like constantly like over and over and over again. It's Jason Concepcion and I were texting yesterday during the game. And at one point he was like killing them. And I go, when they went down 20, I'm like, you got them right where you want them.
Now the game can begin.
They actually did have them right where they wanted them.
So the Celtics went up 20, and they didn't push the lead to 26. Instead, the lead got chopped down to 12. And I was
who chopped it down to 12? Deuce McBride. Give him a dunk in transition to Deuce McBride. He gets a wide open 3. It's just like, dude, Deuce McBride.
And I was like, I just said, But the whole time I'm watching it, and again, it's not that I'm skeptical of the Knicks. It's like, I've watched these teams play a lot. Okay? Yes. And it's like over and over again. It's like, all right, let's put Jalen Brunson in the pick and roll again. Kick his ass. Let's put Towns in the pick and roll again. Get a foul on him. Let's get Towns in a scramble, wide open shot. And I was just like, eventually that's what's going to happen again. And then, the fourth quarter starts and they built a 16-point lead. And I'm like, yeah, this is about what I expected. And then they missed 13 straight shots.
It's unbelievable, Waz. It's unbelievable. Can we also just go to Mazzulla? So he dials up a great play out of a timeout, doesn't advance the ball. Tatum gets downhill, gets a dunk. Then after Brunson makes the three, decides I'm not going to call the timeout and I'm going to run the same play again. Like
it worked.
Yeah, you got to change it up. And you know why it worked the first time, Mace?
Because they weren't ready.
It was surprising.
Well,
they weren't ready.
How surprising it would be if they did it again.
They were ready. Mitchell Robinson was ready to switch. He was on top of it, Mace. And the other thing that drives me nuts, because somebody else was like, well, you don't call the timeout so they could take Jalen Brunson off the floor. I'm like, yes, you're right. Do you know what you should do in that instance? Go at Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
You didn't even include him in the action. It was man, I'm done. No, stupid.
Dude.
How many threes are the Celtics going to hit in game 3?
50. They're going to shoot the lights out.
Is the avalanche coming? Is it game 3 avalanche?
I don't know that. I don't believe that an avalanche is coming per se, because even a lot of these, and like, here's the thing, like Derek White is the kind of player where he makes such a variety of threes in terms of the level of contests that to me, it feels like every time he gets it off, I think he's going to make it. He was 3 of 9 last night. Right? Tatum is not taking easy threes, guys. These step back, pull up three, these are not easy shots. The thing that I think was most disappointing to me about Tatum in particular is that watching his game evolve over the years, where he, to me, the big knock on him was his drive game was so suspect. One, he would have just insanely horrible tunnel vision. And even when the help came, would never get it out of there. And even if it did, it was super late, almost like the last play of the game. Sorry. And two, he never could finish for shit. Never could draw a foul for shit. He's changed that last year in the playoffs and this year, where it was like, oh, okay, he's actually using these wide open lanes from the 5-out offense to get all the way to the cup, to draw fouls on smaller guys, to finish above guys. Like, I'm like, oh, and then, of course, when they do send the help, he's firing it out there early. Like, I'm like, oh, shit, okay. This guy has answered all of the questions that I used to have when I would make fun of his game. Last night, he's driving into Kobe, turnaround fadeaway from the baseline, 12 feet. Like, what's the point of driving if you're going to take that shot, bruh? It's just inexplicable, honestly. And like, it's just hard for me. I'm just like, your life and your season's on the line, and this is what you guys have to muster. I know Jaylen Brown, his knee is actually fucked up right now.
Yeah.
He's got a bum wheel at the moment. Cool. Porzingis, I don't know what kind of illness makes you a scrub.
Go from a tip dunk in the fourth quarter to having to go sit the rest of it.
I don't know what this illness is. It's a mysterious illness. Nobody's giving us an answer. But damn, bruh. These 2 games, man, it was, I was skeptical of Boston's championship hopes all last year. They were basically the Thunder of last year, beating everybody up. And last year, I thought this would happen multiple times over and over in the playoffs, and it just straight up didn't. Even when they got to Dallas, who I thought was a formidable foe, they beat these guys up and down the floor. And then Mo, yesterday, Joe Mazzulla's hacker, fucking Mitch Robinson, because he's like, oh, you got to get him off the floor. I'm like, you're putting the Knicks in a penalty.
Like, I don't think people also understand the value of having a foul to give in the last few minutes of a game. When you have the foul to get, let's put it to you this way. Boston's up 1. Jalen Brunson is getting ready to drive. oh, he might have a step on me. Foul, side out of bounds. Like, it's just that simple. But instead, and the thing that was crazy was they fouled the first time.
They did it twice.
No. Wait. Don't jump ahead. The Knicks' first reaction was like, oh shit, get OG. And then like OG's about to check in and they're like, wait a minute. They're going to foul again if he's in. They pull OG back, foul him again. And then they bring OG in. So it's like, okay, you're not even. And then on top of it, if you're going to do this, like the whole thing about the thing about the Hach Mitchell at this point is, you can't do it in the last 2 minutes. So you started doing it with 43 seconds left. Like it was too dumb. It was like watching it in real time. I was like, okay, really.
And Mazzulla was asked about it, and he was like, "No, I thought it was great because we had to get the guy off the floor. He was plus 22 in 19 minutes. He was killing us." I'm like, yeah.
They put him right back in. It was like after this is the thing too. It's my problem with Mazzulla. He will just continue to double down. And it's math. It's all math to him. It's all math. Just will continue to double down. The math said to do this, so I'm going to do this without understanding the actual value of having a foul to give. Like,
also, Mo, it's Mitchell Robinson. What are we doing? You got it. Like your entire identity is based off of the fact that the Mitchell Robinsons of the world can't survive against you. They can't play against you. They can't navigate screens. They can't play in space. They can't switch on every single defender that you have. They cannot be counted upon to make 4, 5, 6 defensive reads in one freaking possession. That's the entire premise of your fucking philosophy, bro. And now you're hacker Mitchell Robinson putting the Knicks in the penalty, knowing they have the foul baiting ass Jalen Brunson on their team. It's like, that was the thing. Again, it's not completely illogical. There's a logic to it. I'm just saying, like, it's Mitchell Robinson, dog.
You could put logic to a lot of things and it still be wrong though. And it just didn't make sense in that moment. And it's just, again, forget even just trying to get the guy off the floor. The value of having the ability to foul down the stretch of a game to slow things down is an important
2 fouls, bro.
It was stupid when they did it in game 1 because I was like, really? You're that afraid that you got your defense? You're that afraid of Mitchell Robinson?
You're stopping. I think the half court offense was like 85 offensive rating in the half court. You're playing good defense, guys. Like
you gotta just
don't need the hacker.
It's just insane to me with that. And they're down 0-2. It's not all Mazzulla, but he has made a lot of really bad decisions.
Well, we went supersize on the Celtics, watch the Cavs come back and win the next 2 games and get right back in this shit.
That's been the nature of the playoffs, I'll tell you that much.
On to the next one. Do you believe the Warriors can survive without Steph Curry? Curry exited the game 1 with 13 points in 13 minutes, and the Warriors up 10. Warriors not only held that 10-point lead, they extended it, closing out game 1 on the road in Minnesota. Anthony Edwards struggled, no field goals in the first half. Steph was diagnosed Wednesday with a grade 1 hamstring strain, will be reevaluated in 1 week and slated to be out through game 4. After the game, Jimmy Butler, when being interviewed on the court, said, "Steph is our best player, and the game is much easier when we've got him." Gotta love the bluntness and accuracy of that statement. Can the comedy team of Buddy and Jimmy lighten up press conferences across the world, hold off the Wolves until Batman returns? Mo, do you believe?
No. I do not believe. I've seen this team without Steph. Look, they went on it was a nice win for them in game 1 when Steph goes out after playing just 13 minutes. They did really well defensively. The Wolves have not, it feels like, hit a 3 since they've been in LA. I mean, they didn't even make one in game 5, it felt like, when they eliminated the Lakers, and then they awful 3-point shooting again in game 1. I feel like that will kind of return to normal. Anthony Edwards, after going 0 for 10, 9 of 12. like begins attacking downhill, attacks over and over again. But I'm also just terrified of how bad the offense is going to look for the Warriors without Steph Curry. Like, honestly, who do you even have to send a second person?
And Jimmy's
to?
not 100%.
Yeah, no, but like even with like how often, if you're the Wolves, are you like, cool, we're going to send a double onto Jimmy now? Like, no, I think we're going to be fine for the most part. You need Jimmy. Like, I thought you needed Jimmy to be a 30-point scorer with Steph in this series. Without Steph, you're going to need him to even be super big. Like, you're going to need, big face coffee Jimmy Butler. I don't know if you're going to get that.
Also,
I don't believe.
Mo, the survive without Steph implies Steph's coming back. I got news for people. He's not coming back. Hamstring strains are not a week injury.
Yeah.
That's a 3-week injury. Minimum, most times. This guy's 37.
He's going to come back once and get hurt again. Like, it's not even that simple. Like, it's those things. If anything, that injury, the hamstring, is the easiest one to re-injure again in just you didn't warm up just enough. You didn't, you went a little extra harder on one play and it was ready to go. Like, it just gets worse and worse in that regard.
The hammy is not a weak injury. It's not the ankle. Okay. It's not going knee to knee with somebody and you kind of feel some pain, maybe have some swelling, whatever. It's a straight up, you need to rest the hammy. There's no other way to come back from this. Right. And 1 week is not enough. Steph's not coming back in the series. I hate to say it. I'm mad. I was looking forward to the series. They can't beat the Timberwolves. Basket cases as they are, the Timberwolves. They're not losing to Golden State without Steph, man. It sucks because I feel like Steph and Jimmy were on a beautiful postseason magic carpet ride, but unfortunately the injury gods have stepped in and that's it. The Warriors can't beat this. And it's not that I think the world of Minnesota is like, they're just way better than your team without Steph fucking Curry.
Right.
It is what it is.
They looked absolutely gassed trying to create offense. Like without Buddy Hield dipping his hand
made
back
like
in
3 threes or something insane like
the magic bag in the third quarter again. Like, all right, yeah, maybe if Buddy Hield keeps scoring 30 plus a game for the next 3 games, like they'll have a shot. I don't think that's going to happen. As much as I've enjoyed whatever's been going on with him the last couple games. Yeah, like Waz said, I mean, like. Best case scenario, it's like game 5, he's questionable, and then you're asking him to come out and do Steph Curry things, which is running 3 miles in a game. We're going off of screens, getting hammered by people, like, and they'd have to win one of those games. Like, they have to come up with one game in the next 3 to even consider the possibility of trotting Steph out there, which is highly unlikely.
Bro, I think even at 3-1, you could talk yourself into being like, we're the Warriors, we got championship pedigree, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to be ready, bro.
Yeah.
He's not going to be ready.
Physically impossible.
When I seen that weak diagnosis, I'm like, hamstrings are not a weak injury.
No,
like if this were the regular season, by the way, Steph would be out a month and change.
Mm-hmm.
They would immediately announce that we're reevaluating him in a month, and then a week later, he would come back.
And I don't know what they can do offensively after that. Like they have to make this game an absolute rock fight. They need this game to honestly be played in like the high 80s, low 90s.
And luckily, they just came out of a rock fight, and so they're not tired at all. And they're definitely not.
They're well practiced at.
They're definitely ready to throw Draymond throwing his body around against Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert and Naz Reid for another 3 games. I mean, I thought game 1 before Steph went out was really interesting, and I do think to a degree it was more like the Wolves being flummoxed than like the Warriors throwing some crazy scheme at them. Ant was begging for calls, maybe more than I've ever seen before. Like every single layup, he's turning to the refs, Luka style, almost getting beat back in transition. But yeah, man, I mean, this sucks. This was a really fun matchup. I was really looking forward to it. You know, the Infinity Stone of Ant Edwards adding to his gauntlet, one superstar after another. Like, don't get to keep that narrative going, but
right.
It is what it is, man. You know, a hamstring strain is going to derail this series. Like, it's never going to be the same.
Nope. That's the truth of it. That's unfortunately, like, it's just going to be
it's depressing,
not
but
fun.
it is what it is. Wolves, Pacers, NBA Finals, here we come.
Oh boy.
Adam Silver is pissed. All right, our final topic of the day, the final series we have not touched on at all. Do you believe the MVP advances to the Western Conference Finals? See what I did there? It's a little ambiguous there. Who is the MVP? Who's your MVP? Is he going to advance? In game one, the Nuggets rallied from down 11 with 4:31 left in the fourth to win thanks to a 40-20 from Jokic and a game-winning Aaron Gordon 3. In game two, the Thunder walloped the Nuggets by 43 points. They put their foot on the gas and did not take it off. So, Mo, who was your MVP this year, and will they advance to the Western Conference Finals?
So my MVP was Shea. It was incredibly close with everything. At the end of the day, I just say, you know, Shea's a little bit better defensively than Jokic. And I'm not as big of a Shea's this unbelievable defender, but just your teams aren't targeting him the way some teams will try to target Jokic. And yeah, I think they're going to move on. I think it's going to be a tougher series than people anticipated.
Yeah, I think people are going to go nuts off of game two. But yeah, they just have so many horses. I've definitely given their horses short shrift in terms of as postseason assets and killers. But the truth of the matter is, like, the Nuggets, and I think last night showed you, like, if they're not completely super keyed in and locked in at every single moment, which takes its toll, like, you know, when teams are evenly matched, there's a certain level of, you get some slack, like a margin for error, right? The Nuggets don't have that against this team. Like, you throw an entry pass and you're not forceful about catching the shit as Jokic. Somebody's poking that shit out and these motherfuckers are zooming down the court for a layup. Like, you have to be crisp in what you do. And I think the Nuggets have it in them to be crisp. But, like, this is every day, every possession type of proposition we're talking about here. And that might not be enough to win. When you're perfect.
I'd push back a little bit on that. They just need to keep it close into the fourth quarter. They because I don't think they could do that. And it's not a matter, but what you can't do is give up a 12-0 run off of that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. 13-3 runs. Cause that's really what OKC does is, right. They kind of compound it. They multiply it, right? You turn the ball over, they get you to turn it again and again. And then next thing you know, you went from like, oh, this was like a 7-point game to like, we're down 20. Right. And it's what the Nuggets have to do is, all right, like, yeah, obviously they'd like to have the lead for the entire game. But if they go down, let's keep it manageable. Let's keep this at 8, 9, maybe 10 points and just kind of keep us in that range. Because in the fourth quarter, in crunch time, we got Jokic.
Yeah.
And at that point, he'll lock in a certain way. And I think that becomes a problem for the Thunder. I think that's how if the Nuggets were to win the series, that's how I could see the story playing out.
And I think Jokic, every series, his whole career, figures out the defense. Like, he just straight up does. He's going to figure out where your doubles are coming. He's going to figure out which move of his you like to swipe on. He's going to figure out who your favorite guy to send is. He's going to figure out OKC's attack against him. But yeah, I mean, I had Shea as the MVP. I think they're ultimately going to advance. But I'm happy they have to play the Nuggets because the Nuggets are not going to make it easy. The Nuggets have never been just smoked in a series, like lose 4-1 to anyone. I think they might have lost 4-1 to Golden State that year.
When let's do the Doc Rivers. When healthy.
Yes.
Let's do the Doc Rivers. When healthy.
When healthy. They don't get smoked like that, man. And so I think it is going to be a tough series, but I did pick Shea as my MVP. Like Mo, it was like razor thin. And every fiber of my being wanted to give it to Jokic, but it just feels wrong to give it to Jokic in this season when these guys are setting records for point differential and, they're winning 68 games and this guy is clearly the guy driving it. And the metrics, like, I know empirically, like, just watching, like, I know Jokic is a better player, but that's not what the award is, right? Who do you think is the best player in the league? It's who's had the strongest season. Like, all of those impact stats, whatever you want, VORP, whatever, plus minus, box score, all of them, these guys were neck and neck, and Jokic typically dominates those categories. And so, yeah, Shea was the MVP, and I do think they're going to advance.
The one thing I'd say, too, that I thought was pretty dumb from Mark Dagnall, why did you start the series with Chet Holmgren on Jokic? Like, this is the whole reason why you got Hartenstein. Like, this is the whole reason why you got him. Why are we being cute? Like, what was that, like, that thought process? Because I just thought that was silly. And then everybody goes like, oh, look at the adjustment they made in game 2. I'm like, yeah, because you fucked up in game 1. Like, that's not an adjustment.
But
you were just
also,
stupid.
Mo, there was they got the nice whistle adjustment, too. I think they won that game yesterday because they were allowed to be extremely physical.
You mean when they foul the hell out of you constantly over and over again and no foul gets called? Let's just completely ignore the Isaiah Hartenstein shoving Russell Westbrook into the stands after a foul call and layup. Like, you mean we're just gonna I love physical play. I love when teams get physical, but like, we let this team get away with
fouling
so
the
much
shit out of Denver. And guess what? They're smaller. They're physically smaller than Denver is. And if it's going to be a tight whistle, they can't guard Denver. Straight up. When you're the smaller team, like, people think physicality favors the bigger team. No, it doesn't. It favors the smaller team, because if you can't hold and grab and push and forearm shiver guys, you can't guard a team that's physically bigger and stronger. And so they got that favorable whistle in game 2 for sure, which I think is another thing going forward. So, like, don't be surprised if there's a game where Jokic just straight up immediately puts 2 fouls on Chet, 2 fouls on Hartenstein. And Jay Will was fouling his ass too. But I think Jay Will is the guy that needs to play more. They need somebody. No, not J Dub, the big man.
Come on,
I know,
Mo.
So insane.
Get your JWs. It's straight. This is embarrassing. It's the playoffs. I need you to tighten up.
One has to go.
I hate it too.
I'm done. One has to go. I'm done. One has to be traded. I hate when it's two people of the same last name in the same series, like in Houston, Golden State, and it was Draymond Green and Jalen Green. Because when I'm writing out the tweet, I type Green, and it's like, fuck.
Which one are you talking about? I think it's a fascinating clash of depth and complete lack of depth. I cannot believe that the Nuggets came off of a 7-game series with the Clippers and then rolled right into game 1 and won, playing basically everybody they need over 40 minutes. That's has to catch up with them eventually. Like, Jokic's stamina is insane, but the fact that the Nuggets are basically saying, well, we can't trust this Michael Porter Jr. guy at all. So you know who we're going to go to? Russell Westbrook, and it's working. That's another carriage waiting to turn into a pumpkin.
Definitely hurt.
Yeah,
and also Russ is their second best perimeter defender.
I love watching him do this. Like, he's been awesome, but he's also going to fuck them over at some point.
There is the worst moment coming where Russ is just going to have the ball in his hands.
There was something yesterday. It was only one play, whatever. They lose by 40, so it ultimately doesn't matter. But Jokic had Man, I don't want to say it was Isaiah Joe, but it was one of the guards guarding him on the block, and Russ was he was behind the 3-point line. He took a pull-up 3 while Jokic had a small on him. I'm like,
good rebounding position.
That can't happen
at all.
Anyway, yeah, I'm just loving the playoffs. I'm looking forward to all of the series, man.
I need like 5 minutes or 10 minutes in between games, because these games, if the way as it's so hard going into these games being as like high intensity and whatnot. Like after the game ends, I need to go take a walk to calm myself. I'm not a smoker, but I might become one. Just need a cigarette to calm my nerves. Like, it's
literally
intense.
All the Knicks fans I talked to yesterday texted me. First of all, why are you texting me? Fuck Bill Simmons. Like, why are you texting me that? Like,
what? It's not a conduit?
Bro, like, chill out. But everybody was just like, bro, I'm shaking. I can't breathe. This is crazy. My heart is pounding out of my chest. Blah, blah, blah. It's, just insane, man.
I just need a few minutes to catch my breath. Not that I'm shaking or like, oh, I'm so excited. It's just these games have been fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Like this whole, like we started the show with it. It's intense. It's a lot of fun. I hope it continues.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks to Proud American, Wosny Lambre. Thanks to Dakhil. I'm Hach Zarper.
Shouts to the new Pope, Papa Leo.
Shouts to the new Pope, Proud American Pope.
That's
Villanova
right.
Pope.
Watch us on YouTube. Do You Believe is on YouTube every Thursday. And subscribe to all the things that all the people have going on. Dakhil's Twitch, Waz on group chat on the Ringer NBA show. I'm here on the Basketball Illuminati feed. And check us out next week when that fraud Zach Harper returns. Keep that third eye open.